Good morning. I'm higher vibrations and so are you. The Ascension symptom uptick lately has been astounding. The dizziness, the ear ringing have increased. The thirst, the unquenchable seemingly thirst, need for more water, extreme shifts in diet, no longer eating the things that you're accustomed to and being like called to eat other things that you didn't used to have in your diet, as well as omission of food. There's a big thing with this appetite loss, a really profound one for a lot of people. What's fun and interesting about this is that there are a large group of people who are instead all of a sudden just wanting to eat a lot, and then there are people who are doing the other way, just complete loss of appetite. Incredible exhaustion, lucidity and dream, being able to have lucid dreaming, dream recollection, weird sleeping patterns, being up very, very late, waking up early. The 3 o'clock wake up thing is turned in for me lately. I'll stay up till 3, and so I'm waking up at 4:44 every night morning. Very frustrating. Sleepwalking like symptoms. Waking up, being engaged in activity, usually with a council of other individuals, other beings. Having a lot of stuff about this activation of the head area. The head space has a lot of chakras, like a lot of other areas of our body. We don't really know about all these chakras. There are 7 primary chakras. However, we have so many chakras in our body. The number I've always understood is 144 chakras just in the body itself. And so we have all these other chakras that are turning on. And one of the most common ones right now is the ones around the head, the face, and just the cranium in general. This particular chakra has a couple of chakras. It's like a cluster. And so a lot of people are having activity in this area. We call that the dream chakra, or at least I call it that. That's where your soul enters your body. Around the neck area, we're having a lot of these kind of like, and we're still talking about head because you're noticing that it's got a link. It's linked down through this spot, this chakral system around the ear, in front of the ear and behind the ear. These chakras are really coming on really hard, really strong right now. The temple ones, a lot of these chakra activations don't feel that great. They feel like very intense, though fleeting headaches. They could be considered migraine if they stuck around for very long. A lot of other kind of activity around this area. We're also having like these ones that shoot. You feel it shoot through and leave behind your head. These kind of different activations are a big thing right now. On top of that, there's this headband-like thing that a lot of people are having. It's like a headache that feels like a headband. Often it's one side or the other, or just in front, just on the side, just on the back. This type of a thing, it feels like you have a headband on your head that's just putting pressure there, creating kind of what would be a dull headache. It's not that big of that's not loud pain most often. Other types of things that are really turning on is the sudden realization on a lot of these other skills and gifts that you have. Psychic related stuff, telepathy, being able to understand each other, noticing that when you want something to move that it does, these types of things, as well as seeing things such as seeing orbs, light orbs, seeing what looks like a shadow of a person. Just because it's a shadow doesn't mean it's bad. Sending love to it. So when you do send the love to it as well, we have to do is go to that place inside ourselves where we're going to be. And when we say, I love you to someone that you just love so much, and that feeling that comes up right here just before the words start to say the I love you, use that love energy, send love to it. And if it is of love, it will answer back with love. If it's not of love, then it will flee. For the shadow cannot stand before the light. It's just a thing that happens. It's very uncomfortable, and it helps it to be able to discern and be empowered in this way. And often too, it's not just a shadow we're seeing, but it's like a silhouette. There's like a white, very faded white aura around their body, and you really can't quite see who's inside, but there's somebody in there. This is really common too. Often we'll notice this from our peripheral vision, from the corners of our eyes, and then when we turn to see it for the first little while until we kind of get used to the energy of it and being in that energy, often when we turn it, it's gone. These types of things. Some weird stuff going on with the stomach. Before I say that, though, let's talk about these heart palpitations. Wow, we are getting some amazing heart palpitations right now in a consistent way across the board. It's 144 right now. This number is everywhere, I'm telling you. Now, synchronicities is another one that a lot of people are noticing, you know, whether it's a series of numbers in an order or there's other things that are just in alignment with it, just things popping up exactly when they need to. It's becoming more and more easy to access our manifestation chakras and having these activations occur. And so these heart palpitations, let's talk about that for just a moment. They can feel really intense, you know, and if you have any interest or if you have any concern, you know, by all means, go, if you'd like to go see a doctor, do. A lot of us are having this consistently across the board. And such a thing can cause panic and alarm and concern, you know, so do whatever it is you need to do to be okay inside your own energetic and emotional bodies. And so moving through, we're also noticing a lot of throat chakra activation kind of stuff, a lot of oral, dental trauma, weird sores in the mouth, noticing the tongue is just like swelling, and just people would call the sores in the mouth canker sore-like, but they're not quite that way. The feeling of having like almost a chemical burn on your tongue, this weird thing going on right now. There's a thing right here. A lot of us are having it exactly right there on our throat, on our neck, just the base of the throat, just right there. This is a thing that's been going on for a little while. Something just happened a few days ago. It may have been a week now. It's just been a little while, though, where a lot of us got sick. We thought we were sick. We were like getting like, wow, this happened simultaneously across the whole world, where everybody felt that. Yeah, that was a very interesting thing. Just really like felt like someone unplugged your battery or pulled your cord from the wall and just, you know, and just kind of shutting down and slowly doing things. This is something that most of us only notice for a day or two. And like I said, there's just a couple of symptoms that are lingering after. So we're having a lot of stomach stuff. This stomach area, remembering this is the chakral area of creation, you know, so you go into the solar plexus and the sacral chakra. A lot of the chakras share a job, right? And so they're partners. And so they do work in tandem together. A lot of them do. All of our chakras really do. And so you'll notice that this manifestation stuff coming online while it's like, you know, your stomach kind of is feeling a little bit weird and just this almost nausea kind of thing happening. I know a lot of people have had complaints about gallbladder related stuff. If you have any specific organ that's having discomfort or distress, it's very useful to look up the underlying cause of it. All of us come in here with our bodies telling us what it is that needs to be healed from previous lifetimes, the trauma that needs to be released from previous incarnations, as well as this one. And so these organs will activate, they'll speak to you. Your body's telling you, hey, here's an area to look at. So all you need to do is go on any internet search engine and type in which emotion is related to and fill in the organ, the blank there. And then you can find out what emotion is related to that. And you'll still see consistently that it identifies things that need to be released. And it's just to show us that it's there. And so we're having a lot of liver, gallbladder, kidney, these types of things, stomach, all kinds of areas in the digestive tract, as well as noticing IBS-like symptoms. We're talking about some serious purging going on right now. A lot of people are also noticing frequency in bathroom trips, like where did all this water come from? You know, kind of thing, and the other way of it. So, and just again, remember nausea too. So it's just like all of these methods of purging occurring at the same time while simultaneously complete outbreak on the body. What I mean by outbreak is like this acne-like stuff that isn't acne. It's more fleshy, that the whatever comes out of it. It's another form of purging. And so we send this stuff out, moves through the surface of our skin, and then comes this out through this way. And so we're noticing a lot of non-age related acne around the body, around certain areas of the body. And you'll notice that the area of your body that's having the most acne, this is an area that's being healed and purged. And so that you can actually assist this process by, again, searching and looking up what the area of your body is. And there's this whole thing, it's called meridian lines. You have meridian lines on your body. You can identify every area that is being affected and how to address it. Really, really, really cool stuff. A lot of other things. Let's talk about the left hip for a second. This is really surprising how consistent this is. I've just moved away from having any kind of discomfort with it, though. It was something that lasted 3 days, I would say. I wouldn't have mentioned it if it wasn't for so many people saying it, that they had the same type of a thing happening right before I did or during the time I was having it, the same hip. And so this left hip, just kind of feeling almost like it's kind of out of place. There's people who have reported this that are, in grade school as well as, in retirement. And so it's just across the board, no matter the age group that you are. Some people noticed it in the wrists or even in the ankles. This particular area of our body, these joints are areas where energy kind of gets stuck when we're moving, when we're cycling through the energy and we're renewing and we're getting all this awesome new stuff in that we're getting constantly in an increased way every moment that we're in right now. And so as that happens, the energy flows and cycles through, and the stuff that's kind of not stuck, but just hung up for a second, it tends to be in the areas of the joints. And so a lot of people are probably having shoulder stuff as well, and that kind of a neck, like spinal neck stuff going on. And that's just something that's happening. Noticing that it will go away very quickly within a day or so. I had it happen for about 3 days. Feet. Wow. The soles of the feet on fire. So this is really common for all over your body right now. A lot of people are having a variety of different symptomatic experience with this. And so again, I'm sure it has to do with what that particular body needs. And so it's calling out to you, kind of helping to adjust this thing. Noticing also the palms of the hands really, really hot. This is a thing. Moving through the different areas of the body, you'll also notice a lot of twitching happening. Sometimes and often too, it's associated with these shifting and changing in the temperature of your body or the area of your body. So a muscle group will be twitching or having spasms or even something as intense as a Charlie horse. And you'll also notice that there's increased coldness or warmth associated with that area of the body. This is a rapid healing, auto healing that we're all doing. We're all activating ourselves and healing self, accepting and taking in the self-healing element that's been provided for us, which is really cool. Allowing yourself to breathe through it, through the nose, holding in the breath for just a few seconds, and then releasing it through the mouth. Breathing in this calm and consistent way while focusing your intention on the area of your body. Having this kind of experience happening will amplify and assist the experience dramatically. Allowing yourself to do that would be really cool. If you can pull yourself away during all of this stuff that's going on, if you can pull yourself away from large groups of people, it's a really useful tool to do that, though it's not always possible. I know that I've encouraged people multiple times to find sanctuary in the solitude of the bathroom stall. And this is useful when you're at work. If you need to pull away for a minute, just go to the bathroom, sit in the stall for 5 minutes, find that center in self, allow yourself to breathe, noticing the light coming down from God through and into you, down to Gaia, back up to you. Now you've rejuvenated the intention of the cycle of the energy from God, Gaia, and through you. And now you're back in that 0 point center place again. Allowing yourself then to, as a rejuvenated soul, re-emerge and re-enter the workforce or the people that we need to interact with. This helps a lot. It may sound silly, but it's really useful. Just a few minutes. And if this is all the meditation that you can do in a single day, you've got some done. Also, using things like Epsom salt in a bath, foot soak, the pores of the soles of your feet will absorb this just as well and readily as you do in a bathtub situation. Going out and walking barefoot upon Gaia, allowing yourself to connect to her, even if it's on concrete. This is really helpful. This is called earthing. Bringing soil into the house to do that same thing. You don't need that much. Just sprinkle a little bit on a plate. Put your feet on top of it. Put your hands 10 minutes a day with your hands, 5 minutes a day with your feet. So when we're having so much solar flare activity and all this plasma's coming in, your body's now full of all these positively charged ions, which is not what you want. You want the negatively charged ones. And so the ionization process that happens when you walk upon the soil, when you have salt baths, Epsom salts, these types of things, they really help. Also a useful tip having to do with the thirst, a little bit of Celtic salt or pink Himalayan salt underneath the tongue, will assist you every day, will assist you and allow you to find your ability to quench that thirst. I'm finding in some occasions when I don't do that it feels like the water's actually dehydrating me, so allowing yourself to take in some salt and allow your body to alchemize in that way. The dizziness and the ear ringing kind of thing is happening together usually right now. I've noticed that. As well as when we get a solar flare, I'll notice my gums and my top gums will just feel like there's a headache in there. And this vertigo that I'm talking about, this dizziness, it's a lightheadedness, and it's a lot of things at the same time. And so, just pace yourself, and if you can, walk for that day if you feel like that you're unsafe to drive. There's a lot of other things happening right now, and just remembering that we're all here together doing this, okay? That you are not alone, that as a team of light, we've come here perfectly equipped, armed, and trained, prepared for what we're doing right now. And we've been waiting in dormancy forever for this moment to finally occur. And guess what? We are finally here. And so it's go time. It's go time. And we're going to find that we're not going to be as comfortable sometimes as we want to be. Though this is a passing phase of our development. Allow yourself to enjoy your human experience while you do this. Be gentle with yourself and know that you are loved. I love you. You got this. Thank you for your service. Aho blessings.